Today's hearing will explore a difficult topic. The facilities we will be looking at receive no federal funding and therefore are not regulated by the federal juvenile justice legislation under this committee's jurisdiction. Nonetheless, the allegations of mistreatment raise a number of serious questions. I want to recognize the families who are here today and thank them for their willingness to share their personal stories. The loss of a child is something no parent should have to endure. I also want to take the opportunity to recognize the Government Accountability Office for its work in this area. Often on issues like these, where our jurisdiction as federal lawmakers may be uncertain, the GAO's work can help provide clarity. This includes an analysis of how these programs are funded and regulated, and what efforts are in place currently at the state level, but also perhaps at the federal level, to ensure the safety and effectiveness of the programs. We will also hear today from a researcher in this field, and on behalf of practitioners, the National Association of Therapeutic Schools and Programs, who can offer perspectives on the regulatory framework in place, as well as steps that can be taken to improve upon current requirements to protect the youth in these facilities. As I understand it, the work of the GAO has focused on the question of whether allegations of abuse and death at these residential treatment facilities are widespread, and on providing a review of the case studies. The GAO was unable to differentiate between public and private programs in determining how prevalent these allegations are, which demonstrates how difficult it may be to address this issue at the federal level. It seems to me that the question of how widespread these alleged incidents of mistreatment are is critical. Of course, even one incident of abuse or worse, the loss of life, is unacceptable. But before we consider federal intervention, we need to better understand the breadth of the problem so we can determine the best way to protect the youth in these programs. We need to take a step back to evaluate what an appropriate federal role would be, if any, in regulating these programs. This requires that we first understand current federal involvement, an area I hope we will explore today. Many of these facilities have been established to serve children who are deeply troubled, whether they are suffering from drug addiction or severe emotional or behavioral problems. Many of the youth who enter these facilities are placed there by their parents as a last resort. This committee has held a series of hearings this year to examine how we can improve our juvenile justice system. Our efforts have focused on identifying effective strategies that prevent juvenile delinquency and encourage healthy child development. Although these privately funded programs are not currently governed by the juvenile justice statute under our jurisdiction, I hope we can examine this issue through the broader context of juvenile delinquency prevention in order to understand how existing programs can meet the needs of troubled youth. Once again, let me thank the witnesses for being here to help shed light on these facilities, the role they play in serving troubled youth, and the efforts at the state and local level to ensure safety. I yield back the balance of my time.